Hello, friends. Welcome back to Our Unruly Nest. My name is Amber, and I'm so glad that you could join me today to talk about one of my favorite things, and that is homeschool curriculum. If this is your first time here, hi, hello, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I am a homeschooling mom of two. My daughter is 9.5. My son is 3. Special needs, medically complex. So it has been quite the difficult task to choose curriculum for my daughter for this upcoming year. I kept settling on things, and then upon, even deeper inspection, I kept finding parts of it that I just didn't like, or that I just didn't feel that was going to fit our complex homeschooling dynamic with my special needs toddler. So I just kept going back to the drawing board. So last week, I posted a video and asked my amazing viewers to help me narrow down my choices, to help me decide, basically. And boy, oh boy, did you guys deliver on that video. If you did not see that video, I will put it in the cards. I highly recommend, if you are needing curriculum suggestions, go to that video, and even if you don't watch my video, just read through the comments. The amazing tips and suggestions were so unbelievably helpful. It took me, my husband, and my daughter's biological dad some serious brain power to go through these curriculums, researching everything from, content, secular, neutral, or religious. Cost is, something that we choose to really prioritize as well. So we had a lot of boxes to check, if you will. So I thought I might make a video letting you know, as a thank you to all of your help, what we ended up deciding on. Now, it's July. And given that I've changed my mind, this is the third time now. I am pretty sure this is it. Until, we actually get into it, if something just isn't working. Of course, then I will let you guys know, and I will go back to the drawing board. But I hate to do that. Once we're in a curriculum, I try really hard to see it through, at least for the school year, which that's difficult for us because we pretty much school year round, a little bit more like relaxed and less so in the warmer months, June and July, but we really do school year round. So for those of you that do not know, real quick, because it will be applicable in some of my explanation of why, my daughter has a public school background. She is only homeschooled for a year. So a lot of our decisions were based on the fact that we are still filling in gaps for her. She is really in between levels on a lot of different things. So the cost, as you can imagine, would go through the roof if we are buying, book curriculums, but in order to meet her needs, we need to really buy, this grade level and this grade level. All of a sudden you're paying double and triple for one subject for one child. So that did play a part in our decisions. So keep that in mind when I'm going through this. But without further ado, let's tell you what we chose for our children for the 2022-2023 school year officially. And a huge thank you to my wonderful viewers and subscribers that commented on my video with all of your ideas. Guys, you made suggestions of things that I had never even heard of. And you raised really good points about, some of the whys that I was struggling with. So I cannot thank you enough. Thank you. Okay, let's start with English. We looked very heavily at lightning literature. And to be honest, I think lightning literature or logic of English are both fantastic choices for my family. I like that they are both secular. They each have their strengths and they each have their weaknesses, in my opinion. But ultimately, we decided to go with logic of English, and I'm going to tell you why. But before I do that, if you find something of value in this video, please do give me a thumbs up so that I know to create more content like this, and consider subscribing and joining the Unruly family. We're building a really neat unicorn collection here of subscribers, and I would love to have you be a part of that if you feel like this environment is a good fit for you. So why we chose logic of English for our children really only is because I really appreciated the online aspect of it, where because we are gap filling, it really seems like the best choice. And again, by a very, very small margin. Lightning literature, I am super impressed with, and I'm not going to promise that we're not going to use it in the future, maybe for my son. It's a phenomenal curriculum. It's a little weak in a couple of areas, but they're easily, you can easily work with them, with workbooks and supplementing. Let me see if I can get rid of the shadow. That's better. I turned off my desk light. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, shadow gone. But yeah, so Lightning Literature, just by a skosh, didn't make the cut for us for the 2022-2023 school year, because my daughter really still needs something, right, that she has access to kind of everything, and then we can kind of really meet her needs to really gap fill for her. Now, keep in mind, with logic of English, you do have to provide the reading and narration yourself. That is not included. But otherwise, guys, it's an affordable, fantastic online English class, language arts, where you can, really get your language arts curriculum with your spelling and your grammar and things in. So I am super excited about our choice for my daughter. I think for where she's at in her educational journey, it was the right decision for her. Okay, next, we were kind of struggling with deciding between Mystery Science or, what was the other one? Something Chronicles. Of course, it ran out of my brain as soon as I turn on camera to film. Forgive me. Regardless, we chose Mystery Science. Is Mystery Science a complete and comprehensive science curriculum? In my opinion, no. We will supplement with STEM and STEAM books and things like that. But for my daughter, for where she's at, and full disclosure, what I am meaning by that, but hesitant to say, is we feel in our area, she really has had no exposure to science at this point in her education. So we're really trying to ease her into it. We want to just kind of, expose her to some of the more interesting and fun things to really try to foster an interest in science. Because in my area, again, this is not an insult to public schools. Don't come for me. That is not what I'm saying. I have a deep respect for teachers and the public school system and what they try to do for such a large variety of children. However, the reality is, as we pulled my daughter from our local public school system here in Kansas, we saw, very large gaps in her education. And one of the biggest, beyond her reading comprehension, is the fact that she basically, she's going into the 4th grade. Wow, words are hard. Every video, friends. She basically has had zero science exposure, like no physical science, no earth science, nothing. Nothing. So, through careful consideration with her stepdad, which is my husband, and her dad, who is heavily involved, we feel like just knowing her personality, knowing the circumstances of her educational path this far, that mystery science with supplementing, like fun experiments and maybe some STEAM books and things like that would be the way to go for her in her 4th grade year. So that's what we chose for our science. Thank you so much to all of you who chimed in. I was agonized. I actually almost chose the other one. What is that? Why are words so hard today? Something Chronicles, the ones with the kids and they explore. And I told you in that last video, that was probably what I was going with. Nope, ended up being mystery science. So, okay. Under the social studies umbrella, we're doing geography. We're choosing to do basically the US, which is of course where we live. I know that I have some viewers that are in other places, such as Canada and the UK and I believe Australia, which is super exciting. But for my daughter, we're going to focus on our local geography. So we're going to do US states and capitals. The curriculum that we're using, technically, guys, I think it's from a Christian-based company, which again, if you're new here, we are a family of faith, but we do absolutely insist on secular curriculum. I have already posted a video of why, so check that out. I will link it in the cards if you have not yet, but it is called, what is the company called? I have it written down here. Memoria Press. They have US states and capitals. I looked through it. We had already purchased it in my first round of curriculum choices when we were originally going to do like Master Books Math and the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts, and I was just going to try to teach them in a secular way, and I just ultimately decided for a multitude of reasons that I was not going to mess with that. But I did hold on to this because, guys, there's nothing, even though the company might be Christian based, which of course I don't have a problem with, as I consider myself a Christian, but there's nothing religious in it that I can see. And if we happen to miss something, and when we're actually going through it, if I catch it, we'll just skip over it. It's not a problem for my family. But we also have, workbooks and games and flashcards and fun things that I have already shown in previous Amazon haul videos. So that is what we're doing for the social studies umbrella. And as a matter of fact, I asked you to help me choose a history choice. I was really struggling with either choosing History Quest or there was another one, but actually we ultimately decided that for where she is at in her journey, we're just going to do geography under that social studies umbrella, and we're going to bump a more formal history curriculum to 5th grade. So that is actually the choice that we have made for her this next year. Now, keep in mind, we are just a heavily educational focused family. So just because we are not doing a formal history, sit down curriculum, like something in History Quest, which realistically is probably what we will go with for 5th grade, but we are still doing things like, watching the History Channel and doing things like that in our day-to-day, because that's just what, my husband and I are naturally interested in. So she'll still get it, but curriculum wise, we are going with the US states and capitals. And quite frankly, I just didn't see the sense in spending a whole lot of money on something fancier when this was super, super thorough and it was really affordable. So that's what we're doing for that. I'm going to save math for last because it's going to be the most long-winded, the most in-depth research. It was what I struggled with the most. So right before that, though, we have decided to do Adventure Academy. Sorry, I keep looking at my notes here. Adventure Academy, just as a fun, educational, hey, I can't necessarily, sit and teach right now, but I want you doing something educational, such as when her brother, my son, has services every week, speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, things like that, and Night Zookeeper. So we're going to have subscriptions to both of those things, so that if we are not in a situation where we are doing formal curriculum work, we can still have educational resources to reach for so that I can focus on my son. Again, special needs, medically complex. And even if he wasn't, guys, I know that all my parent friends listening are like, yeah, trying to homeschool with the toddler. Blah, 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 blah. So having something that I can say, hey, I want you to, play around with this for a little bit so that I can focus on this, for 30 minutes will be very helpful. And I won't feel unnecessary guilt over her being on a screen, which I'm not going to lie, I don't anyway. But okay, guys, that leaves us with, one more thing. Evan Moore workbooks and Amazon workbooks for handwriting. So we will do typing. I didn't put it in here, but there's a free online, all my veteran homeschoolers probably know exactly what I'm talking about, but there's a free online way to work on typing. We're just going to do that for her. But handwriting, she loves handwriting, specifically cursive. She loves it. So I found just super fun little cheap workbooks off of Amazon. Again, I shared those in an Amazon haul video. I will link that in wherever the cards are. But then Evan Moore workbooks, guys, pick your subject. You guys turn me on to Evan Moore workbooks. I am in love. So specifically for her, we're using Evan Moore workbooks to work on writing and reading comprehension. And then we're using those fun workbooks that are like, I forget what they're called. I should have grabbed them had I been thinking about it, but like silly sentences, and they have them for manuscript, which is what we're doing right now. She is almost finished, and then we're going to work on the cursive one. So that's pretty much it, except for math. If you guys are struggling with choosing math, then the next part of this video is for you, because boy, oh boy, did I go on a math deep dive. That is what even with the help of her dad's, I just could not decide. Math has been the toughest. And the reason is because my daughter loves math. She, at least at 9.5, says she wants to be an engineer when she grows up, like her dad. She loves math, but she gets very frustrated very easily. And her background from the public school system is Common Core. And so we wanted to kind of get away from Common Core. I have my personal reasons why I don't feel that it's the best thing long term. But again, I'm not against it. It's just, I wanted her to have both procedural and conceptual math, not just one or just the other. And if you go into a deep dive of all these secular math curriculums, it's very difficult to find a blend of both procedural and conceptual math. They tend to be one or the other. And we wanted both for her, just because we know, right, what's going to fit her personality. So I'm on my laptop here because I did type notes. I'm not even kidding. So, okay, I'm going to start by telling you the ones that we did not choose that I love, and they might be right for you, but for various reasons, they just were not right for my family this upcoming year. But they might be right for you. Guys, Matthew C., wow. Matthew C., in my opinion, is a phenomenal math curriculum. There were reasons why I don't believe that it would be the best choice for my daughter. And if I could have any organization of all my scribbly post-it notes here, let's see. Here's the Matthew C. one. Liked it, topic focused, organized by grade, but they organize by topic as well. Materials are structured by topics, but still by grade, so it's sort of a hybrid. That's what I loved about it. The cost was not bad for her grade. Looking at that first one, which would be for her going into grade 4, it was going to be $156 basically for the year. So yeah, but it's a fantastic curriculum. And to be honest, I'm still like, why didn't we choose Matthew C. as our supplementation curriculum? But we did not. It was probably her dad. Her dad, not my husband, but her dad kind of drives the math train. And I'm pretty sure he's the one that said, I really like Matthew C., but I like this better. And so I think that's why it's probably the only reason that I didn't go with it. I love Matthew C. If you're looking for a math curriculum, check it out. Another one that I loved that I did not choose, and the why is one reason, it's very basic, it's the cost. And if you're a veteran homeschooler, you probably know Right Start Math. You guys, Right Start Math is fantastic. My favorite part about it was that it's very tactile. They use the abacus, and I love that. But it is so stinking expensive. holy camoly. And I'm somebody that does not believe that in order to have a quality homeschool education that you have to spend a fortune. Whether or not we can or can't is not what I'm saying. I don't want to. I would rather do other things with that resource, like move out of Kansas, at least out of the town I'm in, but I digress. So Right Start Math is wonderful, but it's like $400 to $500 for 1 year. That's like a Becca level pricing. It might even be higher, which, whoo, buddy, no thank you. So not right for me because I won't pay the price, but it's a fantastic math curriculum. What are the other ones that we weren't going to go with? Oh, Extra Math. That's right up there with Math UC. Extra Math, if you guys are not familiar, it's XTRA. I thought I had a post-it note here of why we didn't choose it, because to be honest, they're all bleeding together. But Extra Math, again, it's right there with Math UC. It's a phenomenal math curriculum. I'm guessing the fact that we didn't choose it, it probably again came down to her dad vetoing it just because we liked the option that we chose the best. So we are not using Math UC. We are not using Right Start. We are not using Extra Math. But again, I love all three. I think they are phenomenal, and they are ones I would highly, highly recommend you checking out for your family if you are still looking for a secular math curriculum. Do I have any other ones that we looked at that we're not going with? I don't think so. Okay, so hopefully if you have followed any of my videos, this kind of tells you what we landed on, but I'm gonna lay it out and why. So we are going with Beast Academy as our main math. Now, Beast Academy, you have a couple of different choices, and I am going to look over here at my notes. So you can do Beast Academy online, you can do Beast Academy just bookwork, or you can bundle and do both. We're going to do both, and I'll tell you the reason why I agreed to do Beast Academy. And when I say I agreed, I mean her biological dad, her dad pushed Beast Academy really hard. And to be honest, I pushed back for a bit because everything that I read, all the reviews were like, kids get so frustrated. It's so intense. It moves very quickly. It just seemed like a lot of extra work for me. And I try to be a respectful co-parent, and I of course want to, include him. But at the end of the day, guys, he's not the one here doing the homeschooling. I am. And so ultimately it is my choice. So I pushed back because I'm like, if this is just going to move too quickly, and if she's just going to get frustrated, I'm going to have to, constantly be, tweaking it and changing it. And that's just more work than I need when there are these other math curriculums out there that are fantastic. But he convinced me, and I'm going to tell you how, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, remember when I said at the beginning of this video, the same reason why we chose Logic of English. Beast Academy, with the online component, you can really tailor to your child's specific individual, where they're at. And because she's coming from that public school background where she has these huge gaps, she knows some stuff that is super advanced, and then there are other basic fundamentals that she basically has not been exposed to. And I'm like, what do we do? Like, where do we start? So that was honestly the main way he convinced me to go with Beast Academy. The other reason is because of my daughter's personality. So this is my advice to you. Know your child and know what's going to work best for them. So many of the math curriculums, guys, that I looked at, they are dry. They're phenomenal, like Saxon and CTC. They're phenomenal math curriculums. They are so fantastic, but they are dry. And I know my daughter, and I know her personality, and she's going to be like, this is super boring, and I'm just going to stand here and, stare at the ceiling, and I'm going to have to fight her all the time to do her math. Guys, I'm tired just verbalizing that sentence. I do not want to live that for a school year, especially given that we school year round. There would be no break for me. Thanks, but no thanks. So Beast Academy is very engaging, and they try really hard to make it fun and visually stimulating with their, graphic novel approach. And but the curriculum is so amazing as well. It's almost too amazing. in my opinion. It's intense. So we're going to take their advice and we're going to level down. Number one, so she's going into 4th grade, but we're going to do their placement stuff. And assuming that she places, anywhere near that 4th grade level, we're going to do 3rd grade level. She may even need 2nd grade level, and that's okay, because that's the beauty of homeschool, friends. I get to meet her where she's at. So we are going to do Beast Academy bundle so that she can have both the online access and the physical books, because I don't want her between English and math. I don't want her staring at a computer screen all day. No. So we're going to balance it. Plus, she loves workbooks. The kid loves worksheets and workbooks. So I think it's because of public school and what she's used to, but that's okay. So our main math is going to be Beast Academy. This might be a really unpopular opinion. Please don't come for me if you don't agree with me. I don't feel like Beast Academy is a complete curriculum. Guys, I know what they say that they are. Sorry, not sorry. In my opinion, it's not. They're fantastic in the, critical thinking, problem solving, word problem, logic way. But a lot of that rudimentary, fundamental stuff, the stuff that she is struggling in, it's not there. So I agreed to Beast Academy with her dad if we had a secondary source. Now, I presented him with Right Start Math as a secondary to Beast Academy. The two go very well together. But again, once I realized the cost, I was like, nope, there's got to be a better, more affordable option. We can do this and not spend an arm and a leg. I refuse. So I'm just too cheap. Guys, I'd rather spend my money on books and traveling. So we ended up really heavily looking at Khan Academy and CTC Math as a supplementation to Beast Academy, just so that we can really hone in on those fundamentals, and so that if she has a day, right, where Beast Academy is just frustrating her, it's just too much, that we can just pivot and work on something else, and she can just have a break. She loves math, and I want to continue to nurture that love. I did not mean for this video to be so long, guys. I'm sorry. So we ended up choosing Khan Academy as our supplementation, and I'm going to tell you why we're not using it as a full curriculum. Again, unpopular opinion possibly. Please don't come for me. In my opinion, Khan Academy is not a full curriculum. There's not enough practice for me. It is such an amazing website. He is such an amazing instructor. I love that you can jump on there, that you can just search by topic, and get extra learning and lessons exactly where you need it. But for me, that's the only way I see it being a bonus, and that it's free, of course. So I kind of pushed for CTC Math as our secondary, but her dad just insists it's way too dry. He thinks she would just be bored to tears and that she would just end up basically torturing me. So we're going to do Beast Academy, the bundle, and then we're going to do Khan Academy as a supplementation as needed. If we get into it and Khan Academy as a supplementation just isn't working, then we will use CTC Math as a supplementation. But yeah, so I had, some prices and stuff here for Beast Academy. Just know it's not that expensive. We're doing the bundle. Of course, I have too many Post-it notes over here, so I can't see here. I do think this one's actually helpful. I made notes about why we chose Khan Academy as her supplementation, and that's because it focuses on mastery and conceptual math, and Beast Academy is really more they just don't focus as much on conceptual math. So I wanted her to have that blend, and I was struggling to find something that balanced both. Ultimately, I think that's why we really did decide to go for Beast Academy and Khan Academy, and it's free. But in case you're wondering, CTC Math is really affordable. It is online, so if you need a math curriculum that's just super bare bones, super basic, but comprehensive and affordable online, CTC Math, guys, it is well, I just looked for one child because of my daughter. Monthly, it was $29.97 a month, or for the year, which is way cheaper, it's $197 for the year. Why can't I find my note on the cost of Beast Academy? It was not that expensive, though. I want to say it was like $160 for the bundle, which was the whole year of online access and the physical stuff, which I thought was pretty reasonable, especially given that we're going with other cheaper free options. So guys, I hope this video finds you well. If nobody has told you today, please let me be the one to tell you that you are enough, exactly who you are, exactly where you are. And I'm so glad that you stopped by, and that I hope something of value in this video helps you choose your curriculum for your family next year. But remember, friends, the best curriculum for you and your family is the one that works for you, that will teach and encourage a love of learning, lifelong learning. And that is the best curriculum. This is just what I believe is going to be best for my daughter for her 4th grade year for the 2022-2023 school year. But there are such amazing options out there, and I hope you will leave me a comment below and let me know what you're choosing for your child next year, because I have a curriculum obsession and I love to learn. Even though I think we're done choosing for next year, there's always the year after. So have a wonderful rest of the day, friends. I'll be back soon. Bye.